All right, can y'all see my screen? Bear with me on this first one. I'm going to be asking y'all a lot of questions just to make sure that it's working right. I don't want to assume anything. So make sure before I get into it. Okay, cool. We're gonna get into this. So creating a wow experience. There's a really good book called How to Turn Your Clients into Raving Fans because satisfied customers are not enough. So just a satisfied customer is not enough. And hold up, why isn't this? Okay, hold on. My bad.
Sharing has been disconnected.
Why isn't this? Oh, this is your handout. Okay, my bad. Excuse me 1 second. I opened the PDF and it wasn't playing. So bear with me real quick. Blake, figure it out while I'm doing this. Okay, my bad, everybody. And, I had the PDF open and it was not what I needed. All right, sorry guys, I'm back. And sure. Okay, now we're doing this. So make a raving fan, not a sale. It's not just about the closing and getting a deal because that's very short-sighted. And you have to think about the lifetime value of a client, LTV. So if you just make a sale and you don't keep up with them or you don't blow them away or wow them, then that is going to be one sale. But if you make a raving fan, we all know the referrals that can come in and the fact that the average person moves every 5 to 7 years. And if you plan on being in the business for longer than 5 to 7 years, those are great, essentially free leads and referrals that you get that don't go against your marketing budget and all that stuff because you took care of them. So the objectives of this webinar or this little class is to identify specific actionable strategies for blowing away your clients and leaving them saying, wow. And to inspire you to commit to creating an amazing client experience within your business. So I'm going to teach you how to do it, and then hopefully I'll inspire you enough to want to go out there and actually do it. The key takeaways, just real quick, I just want to go over what you can take away from it. Watch every touch point. And a touch point is every time you interact with a client. That's an email, that's a text, that's a call, that's any touch point. Really, that's anytime that happens, you got to watch every touch point. And I'm going to teach you how to analyze it and really make it awesome. Be easy to do business with. This is huge. Just be easy. Some agents have their way of doing business, and they're like, oh, this is the way that I do it. Or, for example, if an agent has like hey, I'll call you back, or I return phone calls from 11 to 12 every day, leave a voicemail. That's not necessarily easy to do business with, or having rules and having, a super strict, you got to be flexible in the way you do business. Everyone's different and you have to work with them. A good experience is not enough. It's got to be great. You got to wow them and make customer experience part of your DNA. That just means think about it all the time. Put it first, put it at the forefront, and it'll really make a huge difference. And transparency is currency. That means being transparent and just completely open. And the opposite of transparency is opaque, being opaque, like your clients don't see anything. So transparency means tell them everything, communicate, tell them behind the scenes, tell them exactly what's going on, and be completely transparent, because that is leverage. And what it means by currency is that's an investment. But every time you're transparent, you're like making an investment in your client that they're gonna love you and turn into a raving fan. And customers want an experience. They want to be wowed. You know, like the average customer doesn't get good experience most of the time, and they're used to it, but they want an experience. And I'm about to show you that they're willing to pay more for experience, and it's proven. So real quick, expectations versus reality. And this is the client expectation versus what they actually get. Or, you know, or vice versa, what realtors think and what the clients actually get. If you Google, my realtor is, this is the options that come up. My realtor is lazy, my realtor is slow, my realtor is not doing your job. And how many realtors do we know who are the number one agent in their market, or number two, or top team, or whatever? When, you know, the majority of people are, this is the consensus of what they think. So what is wow? You know, what is that? This chick is she's an agent out of Las Vegas, and I really like some of her training stuff. And she says the wow factor is exceeding expectations, communicating at the highest level, and leaving a never-ending stream of surprises that leave you saying wow. So it's exceeding expectations and communicating at the highest level. So, you know, communicating at the highest level, I know if we just communicated with our clients a little bit more, you know, even if you have no news to report, you know, that's a really big one, is communicating. And even if you don't need if you don't have anything to actually tell them, by just over communicating, that's part of the puzzle that is the wow experience. And the last part is leaving a never ending stream of surprises. You know, how many times in your life do you just like, wow, somebody sent you a handwritten card, or you have a really, really good experience maybe somewhere, and you're just like, wow, that was amazing. That's what we're going for, is a never-ending stream. So you have to know the difference between customer service and customer experience. There is a difference. So know the difference. Customer service is only one aspect of customer experience. For example, if someone calls on a sign, you know, you answering the phone and giving them the information that they want, that's customer service. Customer experience is taking it one step further and wowing them. Let's check it out. So the difference, a property sign call, it goes customer service opportunity. So that's an opportunity to give good customer service to your clients. The difference is running out to show, then sending a handwritten note. That's customer experience. Someone calls, hey, I'm interested in this house. Obviously, use your professional experience to, you know, pre-qualify them on the phone. Maybe they aren't qualified in writing, but that's on you. That's up to you. I would probably go out and run and show them. Run out to show them, and then immediately send them a handwritten note card the next day. You know, the next day they'll get a handwritten note. Wow, this agent, you know, we've called a lot of agents over the past few weeks looking at houses that we just drove by. Some of them have been some of us want us to come and get pre-qualified, but this guy ran out and showed us the house, and then he sent us a handwritten note card thanking us. Wow. I mean, I think, and you have to give the consumers credit. Their experience, like, you're not the only agent they're talking to. So part of the wow experience is differentiating yourself from other agents. And it's really easy to do, honestly, just by answering your phone fast and with a smile. You can differentiate yourself from about 50% of agents, because most of the agents don't answer their phone. All right, let's move on. So how to wow. So that was an example of how to wow for a property sign call, but I understand not every time you can go run out and show, but that's something to think about on how you can engineer your system to do that. So to wow, this is the guy that founded a company called Zappos, and they got bought by Amazon for a couple $2 billion, and it was all built on customer experience. To wow, you must differentiate yourself, which means doing something a little unconventional and innovative. You must do something that's above and beyond what's expected. So that's like the perfect explanation on how to wow, because some of y'all might have thought, wow, that's crazy. I'm not gonna go run and show every person that calls. But hey, that's what it is. It's a little unconventional, and it's innovative, because innovative means no one's doing it. No one has done it. So think about that. And it's about going above and beyond what's expected, above and beyond. So showing your seller's house, that's expected. You're expected to get as many buyers as you can in your seller's house, for example. So how can you go above and beyond? That's where the wow takes place. So why wow? So I've already told you a couple ways to wow, but why? Now I got to prove that it's worth your time and your money. So here's an interesting fact. This is last year. It costs 5 times as much to attract a new customer than to keep an existing one. And so this takes a lot of factors into play. Think about, I've had a lot of deals fall through with buyers, and even if it wasn't my fault, but like, let's say financing falls through or something, or the house fails inspection horribly, something like that, or it doesn't appraise. In my mind, these are things that I could have avoided by educating my client, or at least getting them prepared. Because at the end of the day, if it's a bad experience, no matter whose fault it is in this transaction, it comes back to you. It's on you. So it costs 5 times as much, because we know if we keep one, then we're not having to make up for having to lost ones that a deal fell through and they started working with somebody else. So, and lead generating is super expensive. Facebook ads are getting really expensive. So this is why it's so important. Another reason, this is a stat, 86% of buyers, I think Forbes said this, will pay more for a great experience. And I know this to be true for myself and my wife and most of my family. We will pay for a better experience, because a great experience is worth it. I go to Uchi. I don't know if y'all been to Uchi in Montrose. Uchi, they treat you like kings when you get in. It's amazing. And other restaurants, they're annoyed when you walk in the door, another customer. But me and my wife love going to Uchi because they treat you like customers that have a choice. It's pretty crazy. 89% of consumers begin doing business with a competitor following a poor customer experience. So not only are you screwing yourself over, but you're screwing your brand and your company by not giving a great experience. Well, this is a poor customer experience, but basically the consumers, they take it to heart and they don't forget about it. Customer experience, and I read this and I firmly believe it, but it is the last source of sustainable differentiation in the new competitive battleground. It's powerful. It is the last source of sustainable differentiation. And this means in real estate, this means to me, you have these discount brokers and that are discounting, and it's a race to zero. That's not sustainable. Right now it might be, but in a few years it's going to get to zero, and then it's not sustainable. So knowing that customers will pay more for a better customer experience, that's the only way to make any sustainable differentiation. I've considered getting an Uber driver to take buyers around. These days, that's innovative. That's a wow experience, because also you can sit in the back of the car and seduce your clients into, or talk to them. When I say seduce, I mean get them comfortable and find out what's really, instead of having them follow you in a car. But that's a great example. Loyalty. If you want your clients to stay loyal, you have to invest in their experience, or someone else will. Simply put, happy clients stay loyal. So this is a reason of why to wow. If you don't invest in their experience, someone else will. Just think about that. Simply put, happy clients stay loyal. And if you don't wow them, someone else will. Case study. Y'all know Mr. Mario Guzman. So he might get mad for me. Well, actually, I asked him permission. He said it was cool. So last year he did 68 transactions. He did 225 in GCI. That was his marketing budget. I used to spend that a month generating leads. And it was 100% referrals. If you know Mario, you know that he doesn't take sign calls. He doesn't take leads. He takes referrals only, and he basically wows them. He holds their hand and he gives an amazing client experience. And then when his clients say you need to use Mario, they're passionate. They say you need to use Mario, call Mario. And his clients, he doesn't have to, you know, quote unquote seduce them or sell them. They're already sold on him, and it's the easiest transaction for him because they know, like, and trust him because they've been referred to him. That's an amazing feat that he's done. Mario's takeaways, and I asked him, and he gave this to me. Work hard for your clients and treat each and every dollar of theirs like it was your own money. He said that. That is powerful. He treats each and every dollar of theirs like it was their own. How many of us say, like, you know, oh, it's okay, this is $200, or, you know, just assume that, you know, we just kind of give away our clients' money. I'm guilty of it too. But Mario, he said this, and it was very powerful to me. And another takeaway is control the experience by building trusted partner relationships with vendors who are on the same page. So Mario's built his team of his title company and his lender and his, you know, his insurance guys. And that's how he controls the experience, by making sure, and each of his clients, they listen to him when they come. And even if they say, hey, you know, I have a friend that does this in title company, I want to use them. Or even if the listing agent is very adamant about that other stuff, Mario, he basically has the clients in the palm of his hand, and he tells them, you know, this is why you need to use this lender. This is why you need to use this title company. And that's how he controls the experience, because at the end of the day, if anyone else drops the ball, it's Mario's the face. The realtor is the face of the transaction. And that's just the bottom line. And it makes us look bad. So that's how he controls the experience and ensures an amazing one. Know your product. So he literally said this stuff. Learn the construction aspect of real estate. You're going to save your clients a ton of money. You're going to save a ton of money in inspections and option fees if you let your clients get into houses that, if you had a little bit of experience, you could have seen the red flags and educated them and say, hey, you know, this house is cast iron plumbing. You need to do a hydrostatic test, make sure the plumbing's intact. And these are things that you learn, that I learned at the expense of my clients, you know, when I was a young realtor. So know your product and actively learn as much as you can. Try to learn, ask questions. And manage expectations by education. So educate your clients, and that's how you know, it's all about problems arise when expectations differ. So Mario says, manage them by educating them, telling them. And I'm a big proponent of that. Educate your clients, tell them everything. They're smarter than you think, and they want to know this stuff. And that goes back to transparency. But transparency is currency. And the more they know, like if a deal something's going to fall through or something, if they were expecting that, or at least were educated about it, it wouldn't be a surprise and it wouldn't be that bad. So that's a good one. So the rules to wow. Excuse me. Rule number 1, over communicate. Seriously, this is a rule. Over communicate. Talk to them more than you need to. Talk to them more than they want to. Unless they tell you, which I doubt it. I haven't had a client ever say, like, you call me too much. They love it. They love it, and they will, and that's differentiating yourself from other agents. No 1% of buyers are going to say, dude, my client, my agent's going to call you every day. You're going to love it, because nobody does that. And that's an easy differentiation. Rule number 2, over deliver. You say you're going to do something, do it and more. Everything. Over deliver on everything. That's it. Thanks for stopping by. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But seriously though, those 2 things, over communicate and over deliver. If you do anything, over communicate, over deliver. But we're gonna break it down a little further and go into the 6 aspects of client experience. Number 1, make it personal. These are people, human beings, and figure out a way to, I know Monica is really good at this. Monica, you need to give us some tips on that stuff. Let's see. So you do this 20 times per year. They do, you know, selling a house. You do it 20 times plus per year. The average person does it once every 5 years. Oh, hey, Veronica. Sorry, I just saw the message. So make it personal. To us, it's a transaction, and we're trying to do more transactions. But to them, it's very, very personal. It's their home. It's their humble abode, their castle. So, make it personal, treat it, don't even call it a transaction. This process of finding your new home, even in your words. So just find ways to make it personal. Number 2 is exceeding expectations. Consumers expect more and will pay more for a better experience. So exceeding their already expectations. And a good way to manage their expectations is to ask them, I always ask people, how can I make this a 5-star experience for you? How can I make this process a 5-star experience? And you'll be surprised at what they'll tell you. Excuse me, get my coffee fixed. Okay, practice empathy. Empathy is putting yourself in their shoes and seeing how they feel. You're in charge of one of the most important decisions or transactions in their lives. A lot of people's first time home buyers are very scared. They've been putting away this money. They've been saving their money. They've been sacrificing and been disciplined to save their money and to buy a good house and investment and make sure that they make a smart decision. And there's a lot of stress involved. So practice empathy. Hey, I totally understand how you feel. Those words are powerful. I know how you feel. I can imagine how you feel. So these are the 6 aspects. So all these aspects together create the recipe that is an amazing customer experience. Number 4 is know that it's a journey. The experience is a journey and not just a moment. Just doing one wow thing is not going to create a wow experience. It's a journey. And I promise you, it'll pay off in the end. People are going to love you and become raving fans. And a raving fan, the ROI in a raving fan is outrageous. So think about it as a journey. From the moment someone says hello to you, the moment you enter their life, and the whole journey, their birthday after the closing is a huge part of it. Because that's when the referrals, because what I found is that a lot of people are hesitant to refer until they've closed the deal and they know it's a good, and they know you're good. And they just want to close the deal first before they can confidently refer you, because their word, when they give someone a referral, they want to make sure that they're taken care of. So they're going to test you till you're closing. So that's when the fun starts and the work starts, is after closing, to really create that raving fan. So the power of communication. Harness the power of communication. It's so easy to wow people by just communicating, because most realtors don't. Tony, I love this quote. Anthony Robbins says, the quality of your life can be determined by the quality of your communication. So personally, professionally, even spiritually, how you speak to God, how you communicate. I know that, communicating with my wife is art as much as it is a science. You know what I'm saying? So I love that quote. And communication, communicate, and you'll get better at it. But harness the power of it. It's super easy, and it's there for the taking. Number 6 is be likable. And you're like, how do I be likable? But there are things you can do, including be clean and professional. Shower daily and dress professionally. And these days, professional has very vague and kind of obscure meaning, because there are guys with tatted up sleeves and beards who do amazing. So I would also say be likable, but be yourself. But there's a thing about being professional, and it's clean, and it's just, you can be sleeved up and have a beard, but make sure it's edged up, make sure you got a nice shirt on, it's ironed, and it's dry cleaned, and your hair is fixed and stuff like that. These are things that you can do. Second one is be relatable. So being likable is how you can relate to people. And sometimes you have to actively do that when you're talking to somebody. Find things to relate to them, how you can relate by asking questions. Be compassionate, but just have us just care and feel for people, and have a genuine compassion and interest for them. And this is a good one. Listen and engage. That's like a secret trick. It's the oldest trick in the book, and it's kind of a secret. It's just you can get people to like you by just listening and asking questions and engaging them and actually asking questions. They'll do 80% of the talking. You'll do 20, but you'll be in control and they'll like you. I promise they'll like you afterwards. So try those things. I'm going to send you all this whole, right after this, you're going to get access to this presentation, by the way. So you'll have it. So ways to wow, don't guess. Like I said earlier, ask them what would make this process an amazing experience for you, because you will get good answers. Write them down and do it. So don't guess what you have to do. Just ask them. Now do that and more. Like you said, over deliver. Handwritten notes. We're talking about ways to wow. So after first meeting and every major milestone. So for example, if I'm at a listing appointment, or if I set a listing appointment, I'll put, and if it's not for tomorrow or 2 days later, or if I can get it in their mailbox before then, I'll send a handwritten note. Boom. After the listing appointment, as I'm leaving, I'll get in my car, write a handwritten note, say, thank you so much, I look forward to working with you, or whatever. Close it, run up, put it in their door. You can put it in the mailbox. It's up to you. I think it's illegal. I don't know. But you can put it in the mailbox or put it somewhere, or I mean on their door, put it on their door. And that just, wow, they're like, wow, he just left and he left a handwritten note. And it's just a little thing that you can do that's part of the journey. Oh, and every major milestone, that's contract acceptance, getting out of the option period, that's getting out of the third-party financing, that's closing's a week away, and then after the closing, so every major milestone. And even if the contract falls out or you lose it to multiple offers, nobody does this, and it happens a lot. And buyers, like, it beats them up and it makes them feel like poop, really. I mean, after talking to them, it is discouraging to them. So, and that's one way you can avoid this, by managing your expectations with education, and say, educating them about the multiple offer process and what could happen if they don't get their offer accepted. So, but send them a note after the contract falls out, or if they lose out on multiple offers. Say, hey, I'm so sorry we lost out, but I believe that everything happens for a reason, and I'm looking forward to it. Blah, blah, blah. After the option period, after the third-party financing deadline, 2 weeks after closing, and a yearly closing anniversary at the minimum, yearly closing anniversary. Your CRM should be able to remind you that. Super easy. Gift baskets. Super good, easy way to wow. Seller's gift basket when they list. Mind blown. So right when they list, you can, like, one good thing to put in the gift basket would be like the booties, the little booties for your shoes, and like a little basket so they can put it there. Maybe your home seller's guide, 2 tickets to the movies for their first open house so that they can go while you're at the open house. You can get really creative, like some selling guides and some like some coupons and stuff like that. A bottle of champagne and say, at closing, we're going to pop this, stuff like that. You can really, really wow them. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, I don't want to invest more money in a listing that might not close. And you shouldn't be thinking that, because if you're taking good listings and you're pricing them right, it should sell. But also, if you're wowing them and you're managing their expectations, even if it doesn't sell, your buyers, your sellers should know that it's overpriced because you told them that. But they already love you, and they know that you've done everything because you've over communicated and you over delivered, and you've educated them on their expectations, so they know that there's a risk that it won't sell. So it's just only good things can happen if you do this, and though you'll still get referrals. Personalized closing gift basket. So I say personalized because I've seen people buy those. They just buy a gift basket, and like the one that's wrapped up in plastic and stuff. And those are like, I've had them, and there's some of them are really, really good, but it's just not personal. It's just not personal. It's just like, we know you bought it somewhere. So you can go to Michael's, you can buy baskets for super cheap. You can buy the little fluff and get to know your client. Ask questions throughout the transaction and put that stuff in there and make it personal. You'll have, and if you like just take note of things and you put it in there, when they're opening, oh my God, you remember when you thought of that? That's so sweet. I promise it's much better than an unpersonalized basket that you bought online. And when they send you a referral, it doesn't have to be a huge gift basket, but the moment they send it, so not when you close a referral, not when you make sure it's a good one or whatever, the minute they say they recommend you, you got to give a dog a bone and condition them to keep doing it. And so when they send you a referral, the moment, not when it closes, not after you meet them, that day, send them something. That's going to wow them, and that's going to condition them to keep referring you. Moving day. This is a great opportunity to wow. Make it an experience. You know, moving sucks. Excuse me. Moving usually really sucks. Most people do it themselves, and it sucks, and it's stressful. And so how can you make it an experience? Moving day, you can have the home rekeyed and give them a full set of branded keys. So we value our clients' safety because we care about them, right? Care about our clients. So we were like, hey, we care about your safety. So we had the home rekeyed, so no one else has the keys anymore because we can't be sure anyone else didn't have the key before. So now here's a new brand new set of keys. Here you go, mom. Here you go, daughter. Here you go, brother, whatever. So that's a good one. Branded moving boxes. I really like this one. I know one company does it. If you just Google it, but basically to put your logo on the side of it, that's pretty cool. That's how you can make an experience. And a moving day package, food, beverages, you know, you can order pizza for them. You can stop by, order pizza, and like a moving day package would be like toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies, stuff like that you know that you need on your moving day, because everybody needs stuff moving day. More ways to wow. Listen to your clients and find unique and personal opportunities to wow. So this is one that's kind of like the part of the asking. And aside from just asking, you have to just listen and pay attention. And you hear something, put it in your pocket, save it for later, write it down, and use it as a way to wow. Communicate. More communicate. Communicate with them before they even think about wanting to talk to you. If you get that little gut feeling says you need to call your client or just text them or just check in with them, do it. Your gut feeling is a real thing. It's proven. So because they're having the same gut, they're like, well, I haven't heard from my realtor, but no news is good news, so I'll just wait. But they still feel uneasy. You want to wow them. And this one, stuff happens. You know, it happens. But when you make a mistake, there are only 3 things you should ever do about it. Admit it, learn from it, and don't repeat it. So it happens. You know, this is the former NFL coach who's like got in a Hall of Fame. I love this quote because I tell my, hey, I dropped the ball. Even if it really was someone else in the transaction, I take responsibility and say, I shouldn't let this happen. I should have followed up and I should have been more on top of it. I accept responsibility. I dropped the ball, and sir, it's never going to happen again. I'm going to make it up to you, and this is how I'm going to do it. So fix it, admit it, fix it, take the blame, and people love that. People love when people take responsibility and take responsibility for their actions, and they're going to love you more for it. Mistakes happen, and when they do, fully accept responsibility and then make it right. Whatever you got to do, make it right. Everybody knows, I don't know, I bought a couple fridges in my day for clients because I dropped the ball and when I was a newbie realtor and didn't put it in the non-realty items addendum. But hey, I admitted it and I made it right, and I said, I'm buying you the fridge. No problem. And it didn't happen again for a while. Anyways, okay. Wow tools. Disclaimer, to wow, you must embrace and leverage technology. It's true, it's the bottom line. You got to do it. Number 1, you got to have a good CRM. Religiously using a CRM is the number 1 way to improve the experiences of your clients and leads. Because it's going to remind you when to talk to your clients, how often to talk to them, to what you talked about last time. It's going to give you a to-do list so you're not dropping the ball. It's just going to make you a better agent, and it's going to give your clients a better experience. If you're not using a CRM, you will drop the ball on someone. Bottom line, it's going to happen. You're probably going to drop the ball on someone, even if you are using a CRM, but it's going to happen a lot more, because if you have it all in your head or all in a spiral notebook, it's not good enough. You have to leverage technology. This is a really cool one. It's a Folio by Ametree. And I think I've shown you all before, but it's the Gmail assistant made for realtors. It's really cool because when you have a client or a deal come in, it ties it up. On the side, you have this really cool little thing, and it automatically pulls all the emails in there. You can add dates, add contacts, and it automatically pulls the emails that are for that transaction in there. And it's just really cool, and it even has a timeline that you can share with your clients so they know all the deadlines, and it's free. It's called Folio by Ametree, and it's you got to have Google Chrome and Gmail, but it's really cool. This is the timeline. It's really cool. You can attach your lender and your inspector, and it has a timeline, and then your client can come in and see it's very cool. Updater, make moving a breeze for your clients. This is a moving application service, and it's not bad. It's like $100 for the year. It's like a yearly thing, but it's pretty good price, and it makes moving a breeze for your clients and makes you look really good. You just send a link to your clients, and it helps them transfer all their utilities, get signed up. It sends the postcard, a moving new address request. It starts forwarding all their mail. It's really, really cool, and it makes you look good. BombBomb. So I'm not actually, videos is better than text, and that human interaction is vital. So you don't actually have to use BombBomb. There's actually some better options that I just found, or not better, but possibly cheaper. It's called Zoom. Zoom. It's not as cool as BombBomb, but video. Using video for your clients is basically what I recommend. And I think I'm going to put it in the chat. I think it's Get Zoom. Just Google Get Zoom, and that's a good video one. And your website. Website is your client experience platform. Does it provide value? So like, what's the experience like? Does it have information, facts, guides, updates, forms? Does it educate because listings don't provide value, because they can get listings anywhere, right? So the value is information, the frequently asked questions, the guides, and these are things that take a lot of effort to put together, but the information that comes from you and is specific to your process is really going to help. I'm going to give you all the link for this. Let's see. I'm going to share it with you real quick. Okay.
Your screen sharing has been disconnected.
Okay, so y'all have the PDF, and I just gave y'all a copy of if you click on the handouts, there's the copy of the actual presentation. Yes, Spencer asked if you can add forms. We need to do a tutorial. It's super easy, but what kind of forms, I'm trying to think, what kind of forms would we want to make a better experience? So can you think of any, Spencer? Let's see. So just like, I think when I said that, I was, give them ways to contact you. Give them like easy ways to reach out to you. If that's, a lead, someone that doesn't know you specifically, just have like your contact information. Like, what's the experience like? But yeah, we definitely can. We need to do a tutorial for that. Did y'all get the handouts? Just want to make sure y'all got them. Yeah. So yeah, the guides and the education and stuff like that. If you even if y'all just like type the guides together, like 100 ways to sell, Spencer said 100 ways to sell your house faster. That's a lot of ways. But if you, as an agent, have specific, because you know what you know is the way that you do things. So instead of trying to take something else that you found on the internet, if you could like put together 5 things that you know your clients need to do in your own words, type it up, and then you can hire someone on Fiverr or on Upwork.com to turn it into a beautiful ebook. And then that's something that we can do as like a guide or a download. But I think that's like personally, you telling people what they can expect to experience in a transaction is going to be like the most helpful. Because I've had clients where I start to explain something and they're like, oh, I read that on your facts page. And so that investment really does pay off because people are looking at your stuff, that's for sure, if they're going to work with you, or like definitely younger people. Let's see. So do y'all have any questions for me? That was kind of quick, 40 minutes. Let's see. Okay, I just want to make sure y'all have both those things, and I'm going to email it to you as well. And